2020 may not be the year that you envisioned when it started, throwing a lot at us, to say the very least, but balancing the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic while preparing for a potential hurricane poses a unique set of challenges for city leaders this year specifically. Social distancing, enough buses, staff safety, all factors to consider.
Challenges, yes. There's always challenges in every hurricane. With the COVID-19 situation, the challenge would be, make sure that the safe distancing, the public is safe, the staff is safe, we have plenty of transportation. We wouldn't be able to put as many people on a bus, but in the case that we do need more buses or alternate transportation, what we would do is we would get a hold of the state, send in a request for more buses to help with the transportation of the evacuation. Safety of the citizens is the key to the operation, and we take that for heart, and we will continue to do what we do as a city.
Here now is a look at this year's hurricane forecast. We're looking at 19 named storms. The average is 12. So we're looking at well above average named storms. We'll explain that here in just a couple of minutes. Now, as far as hurricanes are concerned, again, above normal. We're forecasting 9 hurricanes, and that's not just for us. This is for the entire Atlantic basin, the Atlantic Ocean, the Caribbean, and the Gulf of Mexico. Major hurricanes, again, a little bit above average. Average is 3, we're looking at 4. So 19, 9, and 4 is the hurricane forecast for this year. Now, everybody always wants to know what kind of names we're looking at. Well, the first one out of the box will be Arthur. Then we get into Bertha and Cristobal. So if we have 19 or 20 hurricanes, we're in the Sally and Teddy category. Now, you're all looking at this name chart and you're wondering, how do you say that one? Isaias? Isaias will be storm number 9 in 2020.
As you heard Bill say, it's going to be an active season. These numbers are a lot compared to average, and there's a reason, something you may be familiar with, ENSO, or the El Nino Southern Oscillation. This interaction between ocean and atmosphere impacts climate across the globe. In fact, the amount of hurricanes we see is largely influenced by this unique ocean pattern. ENSO, or the El Nino Southern Oscillation, is defined by an irregular variation of winds and sea temperatures which affects climate all over the world. So it starts in the water, more specifically in the Pacific Ocean, with the 2 phases of ENSO. The change between El Nino and La Nina directly impacts the amount of hurricanes we typically see in the Atlantic Ocean. So how does it work? During El Nino years, sea surface temperatures off the coast of South America are warmer than normal. This leads to an increase in wind shear, which tears apart storms. So you could say El Nino is our friend. With an El Nino in place, less storms form. On the other hand, during a La Nina, the complete opposite. The upwelling of water causes sea temperatures to be cooler than normal. This creates less wind shear, allowing more hurricanes to form. Over South Texas, El Nino causes the jet stream to flatten out and become more zonal, while La Nina amplifies the jet stream as it passes over the United States. This has a huge influence on climate and what conditions we see develop over the Atlantic. As mentioned before, wind shear is the biggest factor tied to ENSO. It's also an important ingredient in hurricane formation. Remember, during a La Nina, there's less wind shear, which allows storms to prosper and grow into powerful hurricanes. El Nino brings more wind shear. The higher wind speeds aloft blow the tops off developing storms, bringing them to a halt before they can strengthen. With the way it's looking, activity in the Atlantic Basin is forecasted to be above average. Temperatures are warm enough already to support tropical development. In addition, a La Nina is favored through the end of summer, which unfortunately means more hurricanes.